Hey, welcome back to your favorite Fundamentals of College math class. We're going to talk about the cost of home ownership today, compute monthly payments, interest costs for a mortgage, all that stuff. So let's start out with a little bit of vocabulary. So a mortgage is just a long-term loan for buying a home. Down payment's how much you put down on the home. For a traditional, it's typically at least 20%. But there are loans for other amounts. The amount of the mortgage is the difference between the sale price of the house and how much you put down, right? So if you buy a house for $200,000, but you put 40,000 down, your mortgage is only 160,000. 200 minus the 40, 160,000. So mortgage brokers are they'll compare lenders for you to help you find the best deal on a mortgage. Fixed rate mortgages are the where you have the same monthly payment during the entire life of the loan unless you refinance. Variable rate mortgages, typically riskier, or adjustable rate mortgages. That's where the amounts change time to time based on the ever-changing interest rates. So points, what is a point? A point is where you pay. So sometimes people will buy down the percent by purchasing points, and that's 1% of the loan amount. Each point is 1% of the loan amount is the cost of that, and they can take down, typically will take down the interest rate for them. You can pay it up front. It's part of the cost of having the loan. Um, the truth in lending disclosure just shows the buyer's APR, the annual percentage rate for the mortgage. And then the escrow account, that's a lot, most lending institutions will offer you an escrow account where you pay not only your mortgage to them, but you'll pay, real estate taxes and insurance, and then you pay it all. So just one payment to the lending institution, they pay your property taxes for you, and they pay your insurance, your home insurance for you as well. That's an escrow account. So some people choose to set up an escrow account when they buy their homes. Well, here's the equation for a loan for fixed installment loans, just like with the cars. We're going to use the financial calculators to simplify this. So the price of a home is $195,000. The bank requires a 10% down payment and 2 points at the time of closing. The cost of the home is financed with a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 7.5%. Find the required down payment. So the down payment, so you've saved 10%. So 195,000 times 10% is 19,500. So you're going to put 19,500 down when you go to buy this home that costs $195,000. So part B, what's the mortgage? In other words, how much loan are you going to have to take out to finance this thing? Well, you're buying it for $195,000, but you're putting down 19,500 for the down payment. So that leaves you with $175,500 is how much you're going to finance, how much your mortgage is going to be. Okay. Now you're going to pay 2 points at closing, it looks like. So that's based on the mortgage amount, how much you're financing. So 2 points, they're a percent each, so it's 2%. So 2% of the mortgage amount, in this case 175,500. So that's 3,510 to get the loan, to get the whatever, to get the interest rate that you've been promised. You have to put 2 points down in this case. Part D, what's your monthly payment? So let me erase this so I get a little bit of room here. So the payments, so part D. So just like with the cars, the present value is how much your loan is for. So we're going to have 175,500 loan. We're going to figure out the payments. We're going to hit this button right there. The future value of the loan is going to be 0. We're going to owe the bank nothing at the end of all the payments we've made. The rate, it's a 7.5% interest rate, periods. This is a 30-year loan. We're going to make contributions monthly. This is a compounding monthly situation, monthly. So 30 times 12, 360, right? The periods are N times T. So 12 times 30 years, 360 in this case. And we're going to click that payment button. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to our time value money calculator, fncalculator.com. Hit the time value money calculator, 175,500. Whoops. 175,500. Future value 0. Make sure your mode's on end right there. Your rate is 7.5. 30 years, 30 times 12, 360. Make sure you're on monthly right here. Click on payments. Looks like 1227.12. We're paying. That's the negative right there. We're paying 1227.12. Okay, so there's our payment. So it's approximately monthly payment. So approximately we'll go with round to the nearest dollar here. 1227 is our monthly payment. Okay. Part E. What's the total interest paid to the bank over 30 years? Well, let's find how much did we pay in total? So total interest comes from the difference between, so what did we pay total we paid, and we're going to subtract it from the mortgage amount. So we made 360 of these payments, right? 30 years, 12 times a year, 30 times 12, 360 payments, and we're going to round that to 1227. So 360 times 1227 is we paid 441,720 is what we paid over 30 years. Now we get to keep the house. So subtract the mortgage from that. That's the difference, right? Because we were borrowing 175,500 just to buy the home. And after the 30 years is up, we owe the bank nothing, right? We own the home outright at that point. So the difference here, 266, 220, we overpaid this much to the bank, right? So they are making a killing on our money, right? We paid more than double for that house, right? The house or for the mortgage was 175,500. We paid 41,720 in total over those 30 years. Okay. There's a little bit of the work there. All right, loan amortization schedules. So when loan's paid off, as it says here, through a series of regular payments, said to be amortized, which means killed off. The loan is killed off. So although each payment is the same, every time we make a payment, the interest portion decreases and the principal portion increases. I'll show you that here with an amortization schedule in just a second. Okay, so let's do an amortization schedule with this situation. So we have an annual rate of 9.5%. Okay, we're going to put all this in to our calculator. We're going to put in our present value. We're taking out a loan for 130,000. The payment we're going to use right here is that put in negative 1357.50. Okay, so we're going to use their payment here They rounded that, by the way. I think it's actually 0.49 when I checked it here. Future value of this thing is 0. Our rate is 9.5%. Periods, it looks like this is a 15-year loan, straight up. So 15 times 12, we have 180 periods here. This is 15 years times 12 months. So 180 periods, compounds, monthly. Make sure your mode's on end. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make one payment. I'll show you how to do that here. Financial calculator. So let's punch this information in here. So 130,000. Future value 0. The rate here was 9.5. 15 years, 15 times 12, make sure you're on monthly. Now I said that they rounded that, so make sure you change that to 1357.50, the payment that they gave us there. Now here's the change right here. We're going to change this because this is what this is saying right now is after 180 payments, we owe the bank nothing. We own the house outright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make one payment. So I'm going to put 1 in right here, and I'm going to solve for the future value. So if I make one payment right here, and I click on future value, after one payment, I made one payment of 1357.5. This is now how much I owe the bank. I now owe the bank 129,671.67. 129,671.67. So let me go back here. For some reason it doesn't work very good. Let's do that. So now after one payment, 129,671.67. Okay, remember we made one payment of 1357.5. So to get the amount that went towards the principal amount right there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, how much did the loan go down by? I started with a loan of $130,000, and I'm going to subtract what it's at now after making one payment. So 129,671.67. And that's what went towards the principal. So my loan went down $328.33. Okay. Now, so the rest of the money, remember I paid 1357.5. The rest of the money went towards the interest. So I paid 1357.5 that month, and the loan only went down $328.33. So the difference between those, 1,029.17, all went to the bank in interest. So on the first payment, 1,029.17 went straight to the bank. That's their profit. I'm only keeping the equivalent of $328.33 because that's, what the loan went down by. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this again. Now I'm going to show you with the back to financial calculator here. Now I'm going to take this amount and I'm going to put it up here because this is what I owe now, 129,671.67. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to still make one payment at 9.5%. I'm going to make the payment for that amount, and I'm going to solve. What's my new balance after I make one payment? So click on future value right here. So at the beginning, before I paid, that's what I owed. I paid this amount. This is what I owe after I make one payment at 9.5%. Okay, so 129,340.74. 120.74. So then this right here is the difference between the previous balance, so 129,671.67, and the new balance after I make the payment, 129,340.74. That's the principal amount, 330.93. 330.93. And then right here, remember I made a payment of 1357.50 that month. But the loan only went down in red there, $330.93. So that difference all goes to the bank. They get to keep 1,026.57. Okay, going with this. Repeat this. So now this goes up here. The 129,340.74 goes right here. 129,340.74. I make one payment, 9.5% for this amount. I'm going to solve for this. Click that. So I click the future value. 129,007.19. 7.19. What was that? 0.19, I think. So then right here will be the difference. 129,340.74 minus 129,007.19 is 333.55. And then the right here will be 1357.5 minus 333.55, which is 1,023.95, and this is on the third payment. One more time. So now I put this up here because this is what I owe. I now owe 129,007.19. I'm still going to make that same payment. I'm going to make it one payment at 9.5%. So I got to solve for that one right here. I got to click future value. 128,671 is what I now owe. 128,671. See if I can find a color here. This is the fourth payment. 129. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 128 is what it was. 671. 128,671 is what I made after that fourth payment. So then this right here is 129,007.19 minus 128,671 leaves me at 336.19. And so then right here, made a payment of 1357.5 and only $336.19 went towards the principal. So the difference there is 1,021.31 went straight to the bank for interest or profit, right? Now, what I want you to notice here, if you're looking at this, is notice the principal payment that as time goes on, the principal increases. It started at 328.33. By the fourth payment, I'm making about $8 more in my principal. And the amount that you're giving to the bank, this is the maximum on the first one, 1,029.17. As time goes on, that's reduced. So the interest decreases, the principal increases as time goes on, right? So by the time, let me go to the full or an amortization schedule shows more here. And by the way, these are, this one's off by a few cents, but we did it properly at the financial calculator. Okay. By the 30th payment, so 2.5 years later, look at that. You're almost making $100 more in principal of what you're paying off every payment. At 10.5 years later, you're making, 2.5 times, almost 3 times as much you're making on your mortgage is going down by compared to the first payment of $328.33. The very last payment you make, the 180th payment, the last payment in your 15th year, nearly all of that 1357.5 goes towards the principal. The bank's only getting $9.76, and your balance on the loan is now zero because you don't owe the bank anything. You own your home outright at that point. Okay. All right, a few bottom line here things of some recommendations that you'll often hear in the financial industry. Spend no more than 28% of your gross monthly for your mortgage, and then 36% total gross monthly for all debts. And that includes mortgage, car payments, credit, all debts. Okay? So if they ask you, what's 28% of 30,000, approximately 700. So here's a question with that. Suppose your gross annual income is $25,000. What's the maximum amount you should spend each month on a mortgage payment? Well, part A, $25,000 each month. So let's divide it by 12. So we have in gross income 2083.33. So approximately, let's round this to 2083, right? And then on each month, that's your gross amount that you have money coming in. Mortgage payment, 28%. So let's multiply by 28%, the recommendation. So we have 583.24. About how much you have in this scenario to spend on a mortgage payment. B, what's the maximum amount you spend each month for total credit obligations? Well, again, we go 25,000 divided by 12. It's approximately 2083. I know it's 2083.33. But then total we can spend on all debts is, what was that, 36% recommendation. So 749.88, about 750 we can spend on all debts. All debts. Part C, if your monthly mortgage payment is 80% of the maximum, so you don't, let's say you don't spend this whole amount on your mortgage, you only use 80% of it. What's the maximum amount you can spend on the other debt then? So you only spend 80% of what you could have spent, 583. So you got 466.40, so about $466, right? Well, so what do you have left over? All your debts should total no more than 750. So 750 minus what you underspent on the mortgage, 466, leaves you with 284 left over for other debts. So you pay off other debts or whatever, right? This is just your walkthroughs on those. Well, here's some benefits of renting. I'll let you go ahead and read those, but renting, obviously some advantages is there's no long-term commitments with that. You don't have to pay for house maintenance, taxes, things like that. Some other benefits, you avoid the ups and downs of the market at times. I do want to highlight a few of the benefits of home ownership. I think For many people, it's the American dream, but my recommendation is just make sure, because it does give peace of mind, stability. There's definitely some significant tax deduct advantages, deductions on the mortgage interest, and so on. Your rent's not going to increase because you have a fixed traditional mortgage, ideally, and allows for freedom to remodel, landscape, redecorate. You can build up equity, right? All that stuff. But I'll say this, when in your pursuit of your American dream, if that's what you want to do in buying a home, make sure that you own your house doesn't own you. In other words, you don't want to be house poor. So, save for a down payment, get a conservative mortgage, and stay within guidelines so that your house doesn't own you, is my recommendation. There's some uh, people looked at 7-year time frames, and the total cost of renting is more than twice the total cost of buying for homeowners who itemize their tax deductions. I've often heard it said you're going to be in a place for a while, for 5 years at least, and if you have the money to get, to put 20% down and take out a very conservative loan, then it is typically worth your while to own. Thanks so much for listening, and we will see you guys next time.